Welcome to another episode of the Lotus Letters podcast, special edition, me and D. I super duper enjoyed not only recording with Daryl, I loved reading your comments. I loved the text messages, funny, the behind the scenes jabber, if you allow me to say that. But everybody has something dope to say. I am super ecstatic. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode even the more. Tonight we're going to be talking about the same topic, but in three variations. Mm-hmm. Same topic, three variations.
Three variations.
So I did write a letter tonight, but before we get to the letter, episode 1, and this had, ladies, listen to me, this had nothing to do with Daryl. This had all to do with me. I looked at, so I get to see behind the scenes, of course, because I'm recording, but I also get to see the editing sometimes, and I get to view the finished result before it's put out. And I will say that I have to apologize to Daryl. Y'all have it on camera. This instance of me recording, of apologizing to Daryl. Not that he asked for an apology. This is impromptu. He understands how I do. Wait a minute, Daryl. Let me do what I need to do, baby.
Okay.
So I always prep for all of my guests because I want them to have an amazing experience. And Daryl was my guest last week. And not only is Daryl my guest, he's a very dear friend, very close to my heart. You know what I mean, Daryl? Mm-hmm. And I didn't prep for him. I even said, I'm tired. We recorded at night. It was an extremely long day. But all of those were excuses. If I can prep for other people, I don't have to give Daryl what's left. So I want to say I apologize to you for not prepping for you as my guest, but more so as my significant other. We have to practice not giving the person we're with what's left. And that just doesn't go for women at large. It's also for men. We need to consider them a priority in our life as they should be. So again, I apologize to you, and I apologize to all my Lotus viewers because we always want to remain transparent and we always want to practice what we preach. So you want to say something, Daryl?
Yeah, I definitely am going to say something. So
right.
I don't want to minimize anything, so I do accept your apology. But this is the Lotus Letters podcast. You can show up on this couch any way you want to because this is your show. I do appreciate the apology. I'm not going to minimize it. I'm not going to say it wasn't needed because that was something that was heartfelt for you. But I do want to let you know this is your couch and you can absolutely show up any way you want.
Thank you for the support. Thank you for accepting the apology. Thank you for not minimizing it. But I also want to say thank you for being transparent enough to say that because although you're behind the scenes, you get to be at the forefront and ingrained in how we do here on set, of course.
Right.
And you always hear me say, I want our guests to show up in their pure, authentic self. And whereas that was a version of me on that night, that's not the version I wanted to introduce to the world in the first episode of Me and D.
I get
nor
it.
did I want your first time on camera with me to be me looking like that.
I understand.
So I know this may send our viewers back and spark ratings because they're going to want to see exactly what I was talking about. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But apology noted and apology given. So without further ado,
yes,
we are talking about love on tonight. Isn't that a great way to segue an apology from a woman to a man? Segueing into the topic of love. and the three variations of love: love itself, in love, and shared love. And this comes from another conversation that Daryl and I had. We have the most amazing conversations. I may be biased, but I feel that way, okay?
I agree.
So
Nugget. No, let me stop.
you have been paying attention. I love it. But Daryl and I were talking about in love, and we have to be careful on how we just repeat what we've been taught. Because I said that in love should never be one sided. And Daryl said to me, "Oh, it can." And I was like, I said something that people used to say to me when I was younger and thinking I'm in love. You thought you were in love. But I took the time to research it and I had to apologize to you, right?
This is not going to turn into that show.
Right.
We were having a conversation, and
No.
yeah,
Did
so
I
it
have
was
to
a good thing.
apologize?
It,
You don't like apologies, huh?
it wasn't that you were apologizing, and there wasn't a situation where it was right or wrong. There was a point that we were making, and we were both trying to get to the point the same way. And you did more research and found a different point that was made, and you called me back the next day to talk about that.
And say what? I was wrong. You were right. And I apologize for being wrong because I stood 10 toes down on it.
Yes, you
I
did.
even kind of raised up.
Yes, you
And
did.
in love definitely can be one-sided. So in my research, I found out that it's actually shared love that's deeper than in love. And that's where I was trying to get to, but I didn't know the word for it.
Correct.
So before I get too much further into the variations and the definitions and how you feel based upon each one, I want to read the letter that I wrote. You all haven't heard a letter from me in quite a while now. So without further ado, my letter. Dear Lotus listeners, love has been one of my greatest teachers. I used to believe that being in love was the highest form of love. Those butterflies, late night texts, falling asleep on the phone, the you hang up, no, you hang up, no, you hang up, you hang up, all before saying I love you, and those other intense emotions meant I'd found something real. But as I've grown, as I've healed, and as I've walked through both heartbreak and encountered wholeness, I've learned that love has layers. For one, love is an action word. We do know that. I know this now because the love I am experiencing has been patient with me on my journey. Love has traveled the extra distance for me and with me. Love has done what it said it would never do and made modifications and concessions it said it would never make. Love has had broken rest. Love has been caring, romantic, caressing, nurturing, and spiritual. Love has been therapeutic and physically healing. Love has genuinely wanted me to be well, wanted me to succeed, and wanted us to do more than just make it. Love has become shared. You see, one person can absolutely be in love. It can be overwhelming, real, and raw. But there's a truth that many talk about. Being in love doesn't always mean the love is mutual. You can deeply, you can be deeply in love with someone who doesn't return it. And that kind of love, it often lives in leaving you longing and hope and waiting. It's love, but it's incomplete. Shared love is different. Shared love is the kind of love that breathes with both your lungs. Shared love is the kind of love that assists with your oneness. It's not just about feeling something, It's about doing something together. It's when two people engage equally in making the relationship work. They show up, they speak up, they listen, they nurture. They tend to the connection like a sacred garden. It is not one sided. They both place effort in making the relationship work. Shared love is deep, it's intentional. Shared love is the rhythm of two hearts dancing to the same beat, even if the tempo changes. And no, this isn't just about romance. Shared love exists in your friendships and family, in real connections. It's the energy that flows both ways. When you're not just pouring, but being poured into. When love doesn't just exist, it expands. So I offer you a reflection today. Are you simply in love, or are you experiencing shared love? Is love something you're reaching for and reaching back to you? Because the power of true love, the kind that heals, holds, and honors, is not just in how deeply you feel it, but in how mutually it's lived. With all the love my heart can hold, the Lotus. What do you think, Daryl?
I think you said love a lot of times in that letter.
I did. When I did the research for shared love, it sparked something in me. Um, it made me honestly do a self analyzation of trade offs that I have encountered. And I won't go into that on this show. There'll be another show when we discuss maybe trade offs or something of the sort in relationships. But it did allow me to do a self analyzation and really, not live in the past, but look at the past so that I can genuinely become better and unpack it if I have to now think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times I felt I was in love, and I think I was, but it wasn't shared love.
Right.
Shared love is when both people are genuinely working to tend whatever that fire is that they
Correct.
have going on. And it's not that you're always keeping records or having receipts.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that. It's just that we do what we can without allowing our person to do more. Because of the truth of the matter is, we're going to try to do what we can by not allowing them to do more.
Okay.
And when that happens
Get that.
together,
Uh-huh.
that's when people don't get wore out in relationships. Does that make sense?
It does. It really does. And I'm gonna take a second because I was on the show last time,
Okay.
and I was really uptight. I'm gonna take a second to get comfortable
Oh,
right now
do that. Do
because I
that.
did not do that last time.
Okay. That means we're really going to get some good stuff now. Come
I
on,
don't know if
D.
it's gonna be good, but it'll be whatever it is.
Tell me what your take is on, let's talk about love 1st, all right? And build up to shared love.
Okay.
When you think about love, what do you think about?
I think about love it's multifaceted. So it can be the part where your feelings start to develop for someone because of what they do, or how they treat you, or how they make you feel whenever they walk into a room. So I guess that part can be considered conditional love. And for me, as conditional love takes its foundation and starts to grow, and what I mean by that is there's consistent instances of me feeling, accepted, me being comfortable in the space that's been created, me feeling like I already know my self-worth, but that it is being viewed in the eyes of the person that's interested in me or that loves me. But the unconditional part starts to show up for me after all of that is consistent. For me, my love becomes unconditional, where I think that's where my phrase comes from, 10 toes down. It doesn't matter what's happening as long as it's not going outside of the boundaries of love. You know, if there's a roadblock that comes upon us or a cloudy day, so to speak, I'm able to weather the storms. Every day is not going to be the best day on the planet that we would have with each other, but it's all a journey, it's all a path, and it's all growth. And that's where the unconditional part kind of comes in for me. And sorry to make a subtitle or a subtext to where we were going with the three parts for talking about love. But I would say that's what love means for me in a small nutshell without going 45 minutes on my own monologue on that.
So love for you, I hear you say, for lack of a better term,
Hmm.
conditional, because it is in the beginning how a person treats us.
Right.
It's how a person receives us.
Yeah.
So I get that can be viewed as conditional, because you're doing this now under conditions. So I get it.
Hmm.
So then I want to make sure I'm hearing you correct. So that's why I'm saying
Right.
what I think I heard. So then love can then segue into it being unconditional,
Hmm.
because those conditional things kept you around to learn more about that person.
I would say the conditional things happened consistently
Mm-hmm.
that allowed me to open up even more,
Mm.
that my love became unconditional.
Mm.
That's what I was saying on that part because I can't control how much love somebody else has for me or what they have for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I only know what's transmitted towards me or what transpires throughout my life with them. And then my reaction to that is a safer space and a more nurturing part that opens up to unconditional love.